Going on, guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. All right, guys, you know I got a knack for finding some of these strangest, craziest stories, and this one right here will not disappoint you. You see this piece of crap up here? This guy right here is Daniel Klein. Let me see if I can get his name. I mean, get his, he's 51 years old. Figured he'd know better. He's close to my age. Well, I'm close to his age. Anyway, this guy right here is from Upper Chichester, PA. Shout out Upper Chichester. I ain't heard that name since I was been in Jersey. But anyway, this guy right here is the true Lord of the Flies. You've heard stories of dirty people. This guy right here most likely takes the cake. And if anybody's going to vouch for him, it would be his own damn mom, who's barely alive after living with this man. Here's her story. And I'm going to tell you right now, this guy, like that house, need to be set on fire with him in it. Ready to flowers. Let's go.
Authorities in Delaware County are investigating a horrific case of neglect when a woman was found living in deplorable conditions and her own son, Daniel Klein, is facing charges.
The conditions so bad inside their Upper Chichester Township home that authorities had to wear hazmat suits to go inside today.
Tuesday night, the big story on Action News is a son arrested and accused of neglecting his mother.
Authorities say his mother was living in a fly-infested house surrounded by trash. Action News reporter Walter Perez is live along Drescher Circle in Upper Chichester Township with all the details this evening. Walter.
That's right, Rick and Shari. What first responders found inside that home here behind me this past Sunday was quite simply a nightmare. And they say the person responsible is the elderly victim's own flesh and blood. It started with neighbors calling 911 this past Sunday, requesting a wellness check for a woman in her 80s who lives in this house in Dresner Circle. No one answered the door when police arrived, and after observing stacks of packages outside the home and piles of garbage inside, which they saw from a window, the officers made forced entry. Inside, they encountered 51-year-old Daniel Klein walking around, who informed them that his mother was sleeping. Paramedics quickly arrived as well, but nothing could prepare those first responders for what they would find inside that bedroom.
Under blankets that were covered with feces, and that actually her own body had fused to the bed sheets because she'd been ambulatory or non-ambulatory for so long.
First responders also encountered maggots along with a foul odor. They quickly determined the victim had been on that bed for weeks, maybe months.
It's one of the most horrible kinds of neglect you can imagine. And again, this is a man who's doing this to his own mother.
Amazingly, the elderly victim was still alive, but unconscious and barely breathing. She was taken to Crozier Chester Medical Center in critical condition, and her son was arrested on charges including neglect of a care-dependent person and reckless endangerment. Neighbors from this 55 and older community say this is nothing short of horrific.
It's certainly not typical of the neighborhood, for the best of my knowledge, and generally, you only hear about these things when you watch true crime on TV.
It's an over 55 community. We're all really close. We've been here for like the last 18 years, and I would have never thought something like this would happen.
Now, Daniel Klein was arraigned this afternoon. At last check, he remains behind bars in lieu of 10% of $50,000 bail. At this point, no word on a possible motive. Reporting live from Upper Chichester, Walter Perez, Channel 6 Action News.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me read you this small excerpt of this article about what this guy is about and what he did. Trifling. It says as follows. Authorities in Pennsylvania arrested a man after they found his elderly mother allegedly fused to her bed and covered in a soiled blanket in a home reeking of foul odor and flies buzzing around, police said. Officer of the Upper Chichester Township Police Department arrested Daniel Klein, age 51, on Sunday, April 7th, and charged him with one count of abusing a person dependent on his care and one count of reckless endangerment of another person, according to a statement released by the department. Police found a woman, who is not named in the statement, in horrific condition after a neighbor requested a welfare check on the family when he saw packages piling up outside the Upper Chichester, Pennsylvania home. Her statement. When they arrived at the residence, police said they found several Amazon packages and bags containing unopened food at the entrance. When they looked inside through a sliding glass door, they saw a large amount of trash on the floor as well as flies on the windows, according to authorities. Once they forced their way into the residence, police were met with a foul odor and spoke with Klein, who said his mother was asleep in the bedroom. According to the statement, after he escorted them to the room, officers found a woman lying in the bed with a blanket on her, unconscious and breathing, authorities said. Police observed the blanket was soiled, and upon removing it, they noticed a part of her body was allegedly covered in dried feces and maggots. The statement said it further added emergency personnel at the scene observed that the woman appeared to be fused to the bed. The victim was transported to a local medical center, and Klein was also taken to the hospital, the police statement read. Klein was then arrested and taken into custody. After failing to post bail, he was transported to the George Hill Correctional Facility and is awaiting arraignment, according to police. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be honest with you. When I heard that story, I immediately felt like I had to vomit. Can you imagine that? They said this woman was there weeks, possibly months, barely breathing and unconscious. Your own mother, bro, and you did her like that. House trash, a bunch of flies on the windows. Now I'm gonna tell you something. When you see flies on the windows, that's the first telltale sign someone is near death or dead already. A lot of times you can die in your home. There will be no flies in your house. And all of a sudden the flies outside, you can ask anybody that's in the forensic pathology or any crime scene cleanup person. They will tell you, if somebody dies mainly in an apartment high rise or something, you look for the flies on the windows. Flies outside will come and stick themselves to the window. And depending on how decayed you are in there, it'll be so many flies you can't even see in the window. These flies were in the inside of the house, just sitting on the window, just waiting for this lady like vultures, waiting for her to pass so they can just lay maggots on her. Then on here, it said right here, she already had maggots on her, covered in dried feces and maggots. This is your mom, bro. You just put her in a room like dirty laundry. Oh, I'll get to her when I get to her. This woman is old and can't do for herself. That house was hers. Your bum ass was in. And you just did some neglect. House so bad, stank so bad, they had to go in there with hazmat suits to administer aid to a woman stuck to the damn bed because this guy was negligent. There are people out here that only care about themselves. This guy, 51 years old. This seemed like something a kid would do when they had parents and that, rely on them to take care of them. And they want to sit around and play video games all day. If I was a detective, I'd have won in there. As soon as I saw a PS4 or PS5, whatever it is, I'd have bust his ass. This guy right here, 51 years old. Your mother didn't do you like that. You got to 51 years old for a reason. And you want to enjoy the rest of your life free of the condition you put your own mom in. It's like for some reason now, man, we got a lot of ungrateful children out here. And we got a lot of people that just don't care about the sacrifices your parents have made for you. Woman is man's first teacher. She's also man's first protector. And if you don't believe me, when a little kid cry, who they want? They want mom. They don't want dad. Because the sum total of their whole existence revolves around the person that they spend the most time with, the woman. And for you to do that to her is a direct slap in her face. This woman may not recover. Now, this story aired Tuesday, and I had forgot to do it. Luckily, I looked at my videos before I threw them out. But it's sad all the same. I mean, come on. That's a little bit of kindness that was given to you in your life. You couldn't even return it to the one that mattered. You think that woman want to lay up there and be in that condition? You think anybody want to grow old and have somebody else take care of them? That in itself can be a death sentence for a man. especially when they used to have their own independence. You could ask my granddad before he passed. But I mean, this right here, man, she covered in maggots. First of all, why the house dirty? That's it. You able-bodied. Why the house dirty, bro? Think about it. A lot of times you see cases like this when you have children that never leave the home and they just be stuck in the home. A lot of anti-social behavior and stuff like this. Now, I don't know if this is this man's problem, nothing like that, but he felt as though he could take advantage of the situation by being lazy. And it almost cost his mother her life. Either way, man, it's sickening. I'd show him the flowers. How about you? I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Remember, tonight is Friday. Friday night live stream starts at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. You can't get here fast enough, especially with these impressive stories we do during the week. It's time to get our laugh on tonight, y'all. Y'all hear me? I'll see you then. See you in the next video. Take care.